So today, guys, we're going to be detailing this Toyota Corolla, and I'm going to call this the ultimate Toyota Corolla detail because I'm going to be pulling everything out of the car, all of the carpet, all of the center console, everything to get this thing clean because we got so much dirt and debris. There's no floor mats. We got moldy croissants. And with that being said, I need you guys to smash that thumbs up button right now if you like this sort of content. Plus, it just helps the YouTube algorithm. And if you know why I'm saying that, you know you've watched Graham Stephan. He talks about that all the time. And it helps out. So smash that thumbs up button. And let's go ahead and get started with this detail. This is the reason why floor mats are so important, whether they're rubber or even just the plain old carpet ones. This one, I don't even know if it ever had carpets because it is a fairly new Corolla, but they've worn through where the foot pedal, where you rest your feet. So in this particular case, this carpet is pretty much trashed, in my opinion. I would replace it if I could, but the owner wanted to keep it. So for this particular car, we're going to be pulling it out, pressure washing it, and I pray that they decide to put floor mats in when they get this car back after this detail. Now, if you've never pulled apart your car this thoroughly before, keep in mind that every car nowadays pretty much just clips together. There's a couple screws here and there that sometimes are hidden, and that's kind of the tricky part. There's always tutorials online that you can find, especially YouTube videos that show you how to do it on your own personal car. And in this case, on this one, when I pulled out the center console, I found a nice big pile of McDonald's French fries that were not molded at all because they never turned to mold. But yeah, you really never know what you'll find underneath these things, especially if you buy a used vehicle yourself. And I don't recommend that you ever need to do this on your car, but if you buy a used car that is dirty and that you have suspicions about, it's not very difficult to do. Just take your time. Everything clips in and out pretty easily. Now on these door panels, they have these carpeted inserts, and you can tell there's a lot of elbow grease and grime and whatever else embedded in that carpet. And this goes for the center console inside the car as well, and the steering wheel. Just for this carpeted area though, just use an all-purpose cleaner like you use on the rest of the door panel. I'm just saturating the fabric a little bit more to use my drill brush or use my bristle brush here, and then just wiping it clean. That usually does a pretty good job of, one, getting any grease or oily residue off, but also just helping with cleaning the carpet fibers itself. So a common question I get is people talking about how I oversaturate or spray maybe too much liquid on the switches. My personal thought is I've never ran into an issue with this, and as a previous engineer and before I started detailing full time and doing my YouTube channel, this sort of thing gets tested, and every connector has a water protection, layer inside of it to keep that sort of thing from happening. And if you think about it, when you run through, a drive-through for your car when it's raining out, or even if you're just outside in the rain, you open your door or window, water gets drenched on that certain area, and you never have issues because it is tested, it's validated by engineers, and that sort of thing never happens. Now, if you have an older car, that's where you might have some issues and concerns, but anything newer nowadays, it's really not a problem. I just wouldn't recommend pouring an entire bucket of water on your car controls. I would just avoid that. Just mildly spray it enough to completely, get your car clean, whatever you need to do, and you shouldn't have any issues whatsoever. And if you do have excess foam or liquid inside, your speaker grill or around your switches that you want to remove that you can't get to with your microfiber towel because it is tricky, just use your vacuum cleaner to suck up any of that remaining residue and any of those creases, lines, or hard to reach spots. It comes in handy and it's a really cool trick. Like I mentioned for the door panel inserts fabric, this center console was extremely covered with a lot of elbow grime, skin, oil, whatever you want to call it. So for that one, I used multiple passes of all-purpose cleaner in my drill brush to get all of that embedded stuff out of the fibers, because all-purpose cleaner does help break down oily content or oily residue. So after doing about 3 to 4 passes, I was able to get all of it lifted out of the fibers, wipe clean with a microfiber towel, and making this thing look like brand new, as you'll see here. Now this is the trick that I picked up off of TikTok. Somebody shared a video with me of somebody doing this. I don't even know if it was my detailing brushes, but they took it and put it in the end of their drill, and they used that to clean out their cup holders. So I gave it a shot here after I cleaned up most of the residue, and it definitely did help with getting it all that leftover dirt that was kind of stuck in the corners completely removed. So whoever shared that with me, I can't remember your username because it was a while ago, but thank you for sharing that tip. So with that being said, if you guys need detailing brushes or pet hair remover brushes, head over to foxclean.com, which is my own personal brand. I sell my own brushes over there for you guys to pick up. I'm also expecting a huge shipment soon of a bunch of new products for you guys. So be on the lookout. Sign up to my subscriber mailing list on there, so that way you guys get all of those discounts, specials, and news information about anything new coming out over there at foxclean.com.
when spring comes. Like it's something in the air at that time. Don't know why. Always dream of you when spring comes. It's like the heat on my skin takes me back to the time met you on a Friday, halfway out at the door of the club, playing soul on the weekends. Stayed in bed till Wednesday. Fell in love with you right there and then. I was young, couldn't see that. Jacket though is too cold. Saw your face in the crowd and I think without eyes. Her just perfect, yeah, she's beautiful. Never thought you'd be here, it took me by surprise when I met you in the doorway. And a friend of a friend, never thought I would see you this soon, but hope she really loves you. 'Cause I swear you deserve everything. Wish that I knew that sooner. We got sober, it was over, but I told you I'll do it all over again. At your place over spring break, a heartache. I'll do it all over again. Do it all over again.
Most of you watching won't go to the extreme of pulling your carpets and pressure washing them, but it's something that I would recommend that you maybe even try on just your floor mats if you're trying to clean those up, especially on a hot sunny day. Hang them up, let them dry in the sun. Sometimes it's a quicker process to do that than having to try to extract it with a small spot extractor like a Bissell. Sometimes just it takes too long and it doesn't hold enough fluid. It's just a lot easier to just use a pressure washer if you have one, or even just a hose and a brush to wipe it all out, and then using I use a rake sometimes, a metal rake, to kind of squeegee the leftover water out and then hang them up to dry. So that's an option if you have floor mats that need to be cleaned instead of resorting to a extractor. Now, in the past, I've talked about a hierarchy of what carpets and what fabrics I like the most from manufacturers, and I would say that Subaru is still on the bottom, but Toyota, for this particular fabric that they offer, is kind of getting to a close second at the bottom of the hierarchy, because the center sections of these seats were fine to extract, but the outside reds in the center of the middle seat, and especially on the passenger and driver front seats, that red fiber is coated in something to the point where you can see when I'm extracting that the water literally just beads off of it. You can't get the cleaner to really soak into it too much. I mean, it kind of comes to the surface of at a dirty level, but it is a pain in the butt to extract. So for those sections, after I went through one time passing over with my extractor, I resorted to using all-purpose cleaner and using just a drill brush to agitate it and then a microfiber towel to wipe it clean. I'm not sure what kind of fabric this is, but for some reason it is coated in something that does not allow the extractor to really do the job that it needs to do. This shot right here is kind of a good example of what I was talking about earlier. These side panels, just the water beads off and goes into the center panel. But the center section extracts really well. The sides, that was definitely the more troublesome part of the seats. Now to wrap up this ultimate detail of a Toyota Corolla, like I mentioned earlier, if anybody ever wants to pull out their carpets or go to the extreme of pulling out their seats, it's really not difficult to do. Just pick up a general socket set, have some screwdrivers available, and pretty much anybody that watches a YouTube tutorial video or just researches online how to remove those interior parts, anybody can do that if you need to do it on your vehicle. I hope you all keep your vehicles clean. I hope these videos help you learn tips and tricks to keep your cars clean as well. And I just want to say thank you for being a subscriber. And if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button down below and thumbs it up if you didn't earlier in the video. And I'll see you guys next week.